were seated round the table, all the boys and me, when someone popped the question, what would you like to be? I very often thought, if I could have my choice, I'd like to handle big things, for instance, change my voice. I wish I were a fairy, a very pretty fairy. I'd swish around with all the greatest ease. I'd hide beneath the shadows, the very darkest shadows. Oh, goodness me, I'd be, such a tease. If you were dark and handsome and asked me for advice, I'd wave my lovely wand at you, not once or twice, but thrice. I wish I were a fairy, a very pretty fairy. Oh, gracious me, I know I'd love to fly. I wish I were a fairy, a proud and pretty fairy. I'd spend my time just hovering round your door. I'd watch your every movement, I'd go wherever you went. Whatever you would wish for, you'd get more. I'd change you to an apple and place you on the floor. I'd chew you up in little bits, I'd eat you to the core. I wish I were a fairy, a proud and pretty fairy. There are so many things I'd love to do. I wish I were a fairy, a lovely dashing fairy. I'd be so happy, gosh, I think I'd scream. Don't do that. I've met some lovely people, some very lovely people, but up to now I've met them in my dreams. I'd visit all the squirrels in their little huts. I'd feel so sympathetic because they too love nuts. Oh, I wish I were a fairy, a flashing, dashing fairy. I know you'd love to have me in your home. I wish I were a fairy, a meeny weeny fairy. I'd be ugly and make myself a witch. I'd come around and haunt you and tell you that I want you to dig and dig and dig a great big ditch. And when you got it finished, I'd give you such a fright. I'd say, I'm gonna lay you there. But gosh, that couldn't be right. I wish I were a fairy, a sweet and lovely fairy. I'd want the whole wide world to love me so there.